What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Twin Wrestle Pod. If you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe, man. Listen, today we're going to talk about AEW Forbidden Door 2026. Had a lot of wrestling going on this past weekend. We had TNA Slammiversary, WWE Night of Champions, WWE NXT Great American Bash, and we had AEW Forbidden Door all this weekend. So it was a whole lot of wrestling to go over, man. AEW Forbidden Door took place in San Jose, California. Had a 9-match card, and I feel like with most of these AEW pay-per-views, you can take some of these matches on there because you can save time and not end so late like this one did. But that's a thing for these AEW pay-per-views. This was a stellar show, and I always say this: AEW is very great, if not fantastic, when it comes to their pay-per-views. That's why I always preach about them not needing to have so many matches on a card, because if you take like two or three of these matches away, you still gonna have an awesome fucking pay-per-view, bro. Like, this was stellar. The intrigue level for me for this Forbidden Door show was not there, because I feel like Forbidden Door has lost its luster, and I feel like the last true Forbidden Door that felt like Forbidden Door for me personally might have been when Jay White was like the New Japan IWGP champ at the time. And that's going back a few years ago, maybe like 2023 or somewhere in there. That felt like truly the last New Japan Forbidden Door show, because AEW plucked everybody from from overseas or whatever. Like, New Japan really has, like, all their big guns are gone. They're already in AEW, so you don't really get that Forbidden Door feel from over there anymore, because New Japan is in a realm where they're developing their younger talent to put them in those positions to be classified as those old guard was. So it takes time for New Japan to be there. So I felt like some of these matches didn't need to be on the card, but watching this show, I watched the matches that I was interested in, and watched a little bit of the matches I weren't. But I still feel the same, where you could have just took some of these matches off of here. So let's go through the cards. A 9-match card. Let's review it, shall we? We had, first up, AL Sky Team versus the Young Bucks versus Unbound Company. This was a match that I felt like didn't need to be there, because the problem with most of these Forbidden Door shows, yeah, they for the moment, right? And you can suspend your belief for a minute, right? In terms of just shut your brain off and just enjoy what they're giving you, pretty much, right? That's what these Forbidden Door shows are. But some of them, they have a little bit of story looped into them. Now, this match here, didn't really care for it. Out of this match, I didn't see the Bucks losing this match. You know what I'm saying? I don't think no one casual or hardcore or sicko did not see the Bucks losing this match. You know, they recently turned babyface again. Was just in the match at Double or Nothing. Stadium Stampede at Double or Nothing. Regrouping back with Kenny Omega and Elite, you know. So they had a lot of momentum going into this match, and more people watching the Young Bucks. Only people in this group that you're going to see outside of the Young Bucks is Mystico from CMLL. Rest of these guys you barely going to see. So that's a dead giveaway right there of the Bucks winning this matchup. And they did win this matchup. Now, did the matchup deserve 30 minutes? No. You could have shaved off a good 15, maybe 13, 14 minutes off of this match, and you still get the same result. You could get a lot of your hot spots that you did do in this matchup. You didn't need to throw 30 minutes into the first hour, but it did. But still fine, high-flying match. You're going to get what you're going to get out of all Young Bucks matches when it comes to this. But it was okay. Would I recommend it? Sure, I recommend it. It's cool. But 30 minutes worth? Nah, you probably can skip on that. Next up, man, we're going to talk about Jon Moxley versus BANDIDO for the AEW Continental Championship. Jon Moxley, the champion, defending his championship against the Ring of Honor champion, BANDIDO. Love BANDIDO, but let me say this. Brother, you're going to go on these matches, you're going to perform all these one-handed German suplexes, all these one-handed overhand Death Valley drivers, or whatever the case may be. This is the third fucking match in a row in pay-per-view instance that I don't seen you work with one arm. You got the kinesio tape on your shoulder, and every time you working, man, your fucking arm goes out. Brother, take some time off, brother. Tell AEW, I don't know, first of all, I don't know why AEW Medical was clearing you if you got one arm. That's the first and foremost. Secondly, relinquish this fucking title, and Tony Khan, give this title to someone you're going to build that Ring of Honor brand around, because Bandido spends more time on AEW television than you do see him on Ring of Honor television. So please give that championship to someone you're not going to be bringing to the AEW main roster and showcasing them on TV. It's here to show him every once in a while, but let Bandido just be on the main roster now. Him holding the championship does that championship no good anyway. And you're not going to build the status of it just because he's carrying it and he's on your TV show. It's not going to work that way. I don't care how many great matches he has. That's not going to make people come and flock to Ring of Honor. So take the championship off of him. Put it on someone that you want to build that brand around in the men's division and go from there. Let Bandido go back on the main roster, man. Completely. Team back over Brody King, Brodito to be in the tag team division. That's another tag team added to your already stacked tag division. So that being said, I did not expect Jon Moxley to lose this matchup. This was a match I wasn't interested in. But I can look at it and tell that Jon Moxley is not going to lose that championship. I feel like Moxley isn't going to lose the Continental Championship, possibly into All In at the latest. So these matches are just filler until we get to All In, which is fine. I know Tony Khan wants to get his guy Jon Moxley on the card, but Jon Moxley didn't need to be on the card. Neither him or Bandido. This is a Forbidden Door show, right? Outside of like the main matches for like the Owen and stuff, this shouldn't have been on there. But it was still a stellar match, regardless. And you're gonna get what you get out of these AW matches. You know you're gonna get a lot of blood. You know you're gonna get a lot of high risk maneuvers, and you got that in this matchup. The visual of Bandido bleeding and the blood coming through his mask was a cool visual. But then again, was this match even needed? No. Would I recommend this match? No. You don't need it to actually experience the whole fucking show. The whole show is a banger. But you don't need to watch this match. You can skip past this match. Both of them had great work, but you don't need to watch this match. Next up, AEW Tag Team Championships. Adam Copeland, Christian Cage defending their AEW Championships against the Dogs. Now this match I have a problem with, okay? So the Dogs attacked Cope and Cage a few weeks ago, and that left them off of TV for a few weeks before they could build this little matchup. But this is the problem with her. This is the problem I have, okay? Since the Dogs debuted maybe a few months ago, I don't take them serious. No one takes them serious because every time they're in the match, all they do is fucking lose. So why would I be, as a viewer who watch these guys, expect them to beat the tag team champions when they do nothing but fucking lose? They were just at Double or Nothing, and guess what? They fucking lost. So why would I care that they are in the tag team championship matchup, challenging for those titles, and realistically think they're going to beat the tag team champions when they couldn't beat no one else prior to that? And they get treated like garbage, like cannon fodder. That's what they are, as of right now. Until you build up something and make me give me a reason to view them as a legit threat. I don't. I think most casual fans do not. I think most AEW sickos do not. So the result was going to be what we know the result was going to be. Copeland and Christian Cage retaining the championship because the Dogs were not going to beat them. Now, this match was cool, okay? Didn't have a lot of steam because there just wasn't enough heat built up to this match to be interested in it. But the very high point of this match was the return of fucking Switchblade Jay White. My fucking guy. And you know I've been saying this every time we do the AW pay-per-views or reviews or predictions or whatever. Where the fuck is Jay White, man? I miss my guy Jay White. And Jay White came back last night to attack David Finlay because they got a history that go back 3 years ago. There's a video on my channel with Jay White's last match in New Japan. I think Mercedes Moné was on that card as well. And after Jay White lost that championship match, David Finlay attacked him and kicked him out of the Bullet Club. So their issue goes all the way back to 3 years ago. Now Jay White getting his payback because David Finlay is in AEW, and now we're kicking things off with Jay White and David Finlay. But I didn't expect these guys to beat Cage and Cope at all. So Cage and Cope retain the championships. I think they're just keeping these championships on ice just until the New Day gets there. So you're gonna eventually do the Elite versus the New Day, the Bucks, the New Day. You probably do a fatal 4-way tag match at All In with the Bucks, Cage and Cope, FTR, and the New Day. I'm telling you, that's probably what the idea is coming up pretty soon next month in August. So I think the New Day's not compete should be up in July. So by All In, the New Day would be in AEW. So that's probably what they're waiting for that. Next up, yet another match that I did not care for. Shota Umino versus Pac for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. Another match that did not need to be on there, but it's Forbidden Door-ish, right? This is the only IWGP heavyweight. This is the only IWGP championship defended on this card, if I believe. Solid matchup. I wasn't really interested enough to even like pay attention to most things in this matchup. Pac, as much as I love Pac, he's just there now at this point. Drastic difference from where he first was in AEW when he first debuted. He was like a monster in AEW when he first debuted, like a legitimate title contender. He can still be built up to that way, but I think Pac at this point is just like he just sitting back. He's cool, like he's just chilling with his friends or whatever there, and he's just happy to be there. You know what I'm saying? So we already knew Pac was gonna lose based off that. And this is the first time I seen Pac. When we had these pay-per-views, you always see the Death Riders there, but you never see Pac there when it's a pay-per-view ever, unless he's like on a card. That's fucking weird. So this is the first time we've seen him since that match against Darby for the championship. But I didn't expect him to beat Shota Umino, because after this, Pac is just going back to being the second in charge of the Death Rider. So you don't need to go out your way to watch this match at all. Now, this match here was a match I was looking forward to. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kenny Omega, the best bout machine. And this match went 30 minutes as well. I don't think this match needed to go 30 minutes because what they accomplished in this match could have been accomplished with at least about 10, roughly 8 minutes shaved off and given to someone else later in the card. But this was a great match for me because it was technically different. So it's a different variety of type of match you will see in AEW matches on any pay-per-view or any AEW format. Because Zack Sabre Jr. is a technical wrestler. If you never watch any Zack Sabre matches, he's a technical guy. Like a lot of holds, a lot of submissions, a lot of maneuverability when it comes to limbs of his opponents and stuff like that. And it forced Kenny Omega to adapt to his style. That's what made this match stand out and different for me, and that's why I liked it. Didn't need to go as long as it did, no. But the result was going to be the result, man. Kenny Omega was a must win for him because he's definitely going into the Redemption, a new pay-per-view next month to face a MJF for the championship. So we all knew going into this match, Kenny Omega had to win this match. But this was a fantastic match from both. Only thing I would say, I would recommend it 50-50 just because the length of the match really killed it. It didn't need to go 30 minutes, but the variety of a type of matchup it was. Like a slow pace, like working on the limbs, maneuverability for both guys turned out to make it a great match. That's the positive. The negative was the length of the match, but I would definitely recommend it. Alright. AEW Women's World Championship. The champion TEKLA versus Starlight Kid. This match was okay. Definitely, if I had to rank them, I don't even like doing rankings, but this was not. This probably was like the fourth best match of the weekend when it comes to the women's. This was just better than a Li Yang Lee and Zaya Brookside match, in my opinion. I think Zarya and Tatum Paxley was better. Lola Vice and Kendall Gray was better, and Maya World and Mercedes was better than this matchup. The fans just wasn't like, they were into it, but they weren't really into it until TEKLA started doing disrespectful shit toward the end of the match. this match was just there. I mean, the build was cool because it's telling you the backstory of why Tekla left Stardom in the first place. They expanded on that just a little bit. You had the owner of Stardom in the crowd during the matchup, and Tekla ended up winning this match. And the most pivotal thing about this match was the ending, where Tekla cut off the mask to Starlight Kid. She spit in the mask as a sign for that's two signs of disrespect. The first one was cutting the mask off and taking it out for her opponent. Never do that when someone has a mask on their face. Great way to get heat though. She spit in the mask and she shoved the mask in the face of the owner of Stardom, smacked him with the mask and everything, and then she posed after the matchup. So a great way to get heat by Tekla there, but this match, you can skip it. All right, man. Now we're heading into the triple main event phase. And we're going to start with Mercedes Moné versus Maya World. Now, this match was a wonderful story. Well, the thing with Maya World, since if you look at to where she first started, right, in AEW, she started as a replacement. Her and her teammate, I think, is it Haya? I'm not too familiar with them, but they was a replacement. They was supposed to be job people. Replacement for Tegan Knox and her partner when they were scheduled to compete on Dynamite, but they left. They whatever the story they want to twist, or whatever side you want to listen to, is whatever. I never looked into the whole thing, but some form or fashion, Tegan Knox and her partner, they left, and Maya World and her partner Hyan were ushered to that spot, and they took their spot in the tag team matchup. So to go from there to now, you competing for opportunity to all in to challenge for the top championship is a hell of a story. She had a tragedy earlier this month with her brother passing away in a tragic accident, and she replaced Siri in the tournament, and she beat Sky Blue. She beat Athena, and now we are here in the finals against Mercedes Moné, who is her idol pretty much, who she watched growing up. So, wonderful story for Maya World, and the story writes itself for Mercedes, the winner from last year's Owen Hart Women's Final, and a woman who lost all her championships, and she's going in with the only championship she has remaining was the Owen Hart Cup Championship. Now, I'm gonna describe the crowd as climaxing at the matches before this, when Jay White returned. Now we get here. They were kind of dead at the start of this match, and they caught up toward the midpoint, toward the end of the match. They caught on, crowd caught on, because the Maya World was catching fire in this match. She flowed, like I said about Mike Santana yesterday. Maya World flow is very, very fucking smooth. At one point, she had a wardrobe malfunction, but it wasn't like to the degree of like some crazy shit where they had to black out the screen or nothing like that. But she was still flowing through most of the shit. Like she had one point in the match toward the end of the match where she did these fall away slams, kind of like how, because Mercedes prior to that, Mercedes did the Three Amigos, the Eddie Guerrero suplexes. And Maya World after that, she hit her with 3 fall away slams. So she hit a fall away slam, flip out, hit another fall away slam, flip out, and then she fall away slam Mercedes outside of the ring, which was a pretty cool spot. This girl has a lot of unique maneuvers. She can flow in the ring very smoothly. I like what she brought in this matchup, and the crowd was fully behind her toward the end of the match for sure. Mercedes just being Mercedes, man. Fantastic worker. We all know how great she is, man. I don't need to harp on how great Mercedes is, but this match was pretty fucking awesome. Mercedes Moné made Maya World tap out by wrenching on a bank statement. And Maya World made herself in this matchup. Really did. Now I've heard this is like one of the best women matches in AEW history. I wouldn't go that far, but it's definitely one. It's like definitely like bridging up close to it. I still wouldn't put it over Mariah May and Toni Storm. I wouldn't put it over the classic that started the women's division, which is Britt Baker versus Thunder Rosa in that Lights Out match in 2021. That was definitely like one of the best matches ever. Statlander and Willow and a street fight, and many more. Toni Storm, Mercedes Moné, we can keep going. But This is definitely a great match for Maya World. Now we're gonna find out what Tony Khan can do with Maya World there. It's her opportunity. It's in his hands. Okay. What is he gonna do with her? How is he gonna build on this performance? Now after this matchup, there was not a backstage segment, but an interview from the crowd with Athena and Renee Young. She was talking about Maya World and how Maya World beat her the match before the finals to get to the finals against Mercedes Moné, and how she got there because of luck, just because of Athena taking her eye off the ball and a misleading judgment. But it won't happen again. So the direction I think they're going for is Maya World challenging Athena for the Ring of Honor World Championship and defeating her for the Ring of Honor Championship. How do I feel about it? I think you shouldn't go that route just because Ring of Honor is a dead brand. Her winning the Ring of Honor Championship isn't going to do nothing for her. Yeah, it's going to be a championship she win, but they don't do nothing for her. She better off winning a TBS championship. That's the way you capitalize off of somebody in a star making performance like this. You put her in there for the mid card championship. See how she is with a championship around her waist, how she defended, how the people react to her, all this stuff. So you can, put the plugs in her to see if she's capable of going for the world championship. Now, Mercedes Moné, on the other hand, where she go from here? To Wembley. All in. Who she faces is the question, though. We don't know. Because you do TEKLA versus Mercedes? I think you don't. I think we're going to get probably Willow and Mercedes yet again for the third time. And we're going to get Mercedes Moné winning the AEW World Women's Championship at Wembley. So stay tuned for that. Now, second match of the triple main event. We had Team DCMJF, the Don Callis family, Andrade El Idolo, Jake Doyle, Kevin Knight, Kyle Fletcher, and Kazuchika Okada, teaming up with MJF, the AEW World Champion, to take on the conglomeration Kyle Fletcher, Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, Mark Briscoe, teaming up with Darby Allin and Konosuke Takeshita. I am not going to go through everything in this match, man. This match is damn near 30 minutes to an hour. I'm not going through this match, okay? All I'm going to say to this match is shout out to fucking Lio Rush. Blackheart gimmick, I fucking love it. One of the best gimmicks going in wrestling today. He made a cameo in this matchup. This matchup was just a lot of fucking fun, man. All these guys in there probably were having a fucking blast. It's a typical AEW match, though. I will give them credit for the steel cage structure. It was a circle structure of a steel cage, which is cool. Their unique look they should keep. Kind of like a Hell in a Cell and a steel cage together, but just a circle shape. This match was fun. Tables, thumbtacks, a lot of blood, which I can do without sometimes. But the Lio Rush cameo is fucking awesome. The best spots of this match was Andrade El Idolo hitting Max with a fucking elbow, taking his shirt off, and revealing his shirt that say fuck Don and fuck MJF. So Andrade is out of the Don Callis family. He doesn't care anymore. But we've seen that brewing. A lot of things about this match that I like is it has a lot of stories weaved into it. Minus the conglomeration with Mark Briscoe, Darby Allin, and Konosuke Takeshita for one. All have stories with everybody on the opposing side. Takeshita has a story with Okada and Kyle Fletcher. Mark Briscoe has a story with MJF. Darby has a story with Kevin Knight. So I like those intertwining parts. And on the other side of the team, you had Kevin Knight want to go out to MJF. Andrade, who showed you in this match that he is coming for MJF after screwing MJF in his championship match, in his tag team match. And Kyle Fletcher, all aiming for the AEW World Championship. That's the only thing I liked about the match. But it was just pure chaos fun, man. I would definitely say watch this match. This is probably it's close. It might be my match of the night, but it's definitely fun chaos, man. I will definitely say watch it though, for sure. Now let's get on to the main event, the finals of the Man's Own Heart Cup Classic. Swerve Strickland versus Will Ospreay. Now, I'm gonna go on a limb out here and say this. I liked their Forbidden Door match 2 years ago better than I like this match. But this match was fun, man. Very, very, very fun. This heated the notion of what are you willing to do to win this matchup? This goes all the way back to their Forbidden Door matchup 2 years prior, to where Swerve told Ospreay he don't have what it takes. Like, he can't take that extra step to beat him. Because if you remember, going way back to when Ospreay fought Danielson, the Tiger Driver was a thing on Danielson's neck, and he banned the move, so he will never do the move again, right? And it's just this dangerous move. And Swerve told him, you have to do that move in order to beat me. You have to. And he didn't do it that Forbidden Door show for the championship. And he lost. This match was just fucking pure chaos. This match, Ospreay took no prisoners. He fucking took that shot. That shit Swerve said he had to do to beat him. That's the only way you're gonna do. That's the only way you're gonna beat me. Ospreay took that shot. He made it. This fucking match had blood. Ospreay was bleeding bloods, but his shit dried up. When Swerve got fucking busted open, my fucking god, man, it was like the fucking murder scene. He had a talking about a crimson mask. He had a fucking crimson mask. Red as my fucking shirt right now. Like puddles of blood, bro. Fucking insane. To the point where it's uncomfortable to watch a motherfucker bleed like that. And just keep fighting. Just uncomfortable blood. The way he got busted open, though, was more like, to me personally, it was more organic as opposed to when Will busted open. Because when Will got busted open, Swerve had his legs hooked, and he catapulted him into the exposed ring pipe at the bottom of the turnbuckle. And like Will could have just used his fingers, his hand to block it, but he didn't get there in time. Swerve's, when Ospreay threw him into the fucking steel steps, I'm gonna give you the visual. He was trying to do a style slash, but Swerve was fighting out of it. So as Swerve is fighting out of it, Ospreay uses his momentum to swing him into the fucking steel steps, and that looked like it was hard way. You know it wasn't hard way, but it looked it legit. So the way Swerve got busted open, A+, perfect. That's what this match needed. But it get desensitized because you see it in almost every other match. Now, if every other match didn't have the blood, man, this was the perfect match just to have the blood. Because it's you fighting for something. You fighting for opportunity to main event the grand pay-per-view for your company. You're fighting for the opportunity to go after the prized possession of your company, which is the AEW World Championship. So you got to bleed that much more. You got to show what you're willing to fight, what you're willing to give to get that chance to go and main event your biggest show of the year. And that's what this was. Fantastic match from Swerve and Ospreay. These guys have tremendous fucking chemistry. And if you don't know, now you know these are your pillars of the fucking company. These are your two top guys. I love Hangman. Hangman's up there too. But Swerve showed his versatility, his ability to play both heel and face. He did it during his first run, his organic first run, becoming heel to babyface. Now he's coming from face to heel. Fantastic work from both. Love this match. I love their match 2 years ago prior better because the championship was on the line. But fantastic match from both guys. And that wraps AEW Forbidden Door. Fantastic show, man. I say again, Tony, and this is me in your corner, man. Like, lower some of these matches, bro. Like, you don't need to go out and go crazy and go give me 9 or 10 matches. I'm cool. Feel me? I'm cool. Just give me like 6 or 7. You know what I'm saying? Or 8 if you want to. Because half of these matches you can cut off, you're going to still get the same result, bro. I just got to be up long enough to be able to watch it. Sometimes I can't make it, my guy. So you got to cut some of these matches off, man. Most of these matches are meant for Dynamite. Leave them on Dynamite. The matches that mean something, put them on the card. That's my advice to you. But that'll do it for my review of AEW Forbidden Door 2026. A show well worth watching. Don't watch every match. Just watch the matches I talked about. Then broke down detail. Cage match, Swerve, Osprey, Mercedes Moné, Maya World. And if you want a different type of flavor of a match, watch Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. But I'll see you guys in the next video, man. It's Twin Wrestle Pod, and I'm out. Peace.